everyone, this is Elise Huey, and today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to make a bar chart in Excel. This is just a quick run through. There's another video that I posted on under the module, but this one's just kind of gonna fly through it and summarize it quickly. If you already have some experience with Excel, and I'm using my personal data, but you guys will be using the data that is found in your assignment, making a graph using Excel. What you can do is you can highlight all of this with your cursor, and you can do the Command Control for your computer, so copying it, and you can simply paste it into Excel with the paste control. Alright, but for this example, I'm going to be using my own data. Alright, so before we can insert a bar chart, we have to get the average values of each of these rows. So I'm going to make my own little small table below so I can get the averages of the dissolved oxygen concentration and the pH from each of my lakes. And to do that, we are going to type the equal sign, and you can start spelling average, and then the function average will pop up right here. You're going to double click that, boom, and you're going to highlight all the data that you want to get the mean of, and then click or hit enter on your keyboard, boom, and that is your average value. So we're going to do that 3 more times for all of our columns. Oops, that's the wrong column. This column. And again for the pHs, average. Right here, choose any, and average pH for Kawaguchi. Alright, now we have all our averages, so we're ready to make a bar chart. To do that, you're going to go to the Insert tab right here, go over to this small little icon, and when you hover over it, it's going to say Insert Column or Bar Chart. Go ahead and click, and you're going to click this first option here in the 2D column section. This is called a clustered column. When you click this, it will be blank, and that is okay because you haven't selected any data yet. So now we're going to hit this icon that says Select Data. For your chart data range, you're going to simply highlight this small little chart you just created of all of your average values. And it's going to put it right here into the you can see it's putting it into your legends, your series, and it's also going to give some axis labels, which is really nice and convenient for us. Then just hit OK. Boom. Alright, so here's your graph. It looks okay, but if you were to present this to anyone in the public, they wouldn't have a clue what's going on. And that's because it's lacking labels. We need to have axis titles and a legend. To add these features, you're going to double click on your graph, and you will see this pop up that says Add Chart Element. Click that, and you can see it has all these really nice features for us here. Right now we're just going to add some axis titles, so primary horizontal, click that. Go back up and do the same for a primary vertical. And this is where you can label your you can title it appropriately. So for me, down here, we can say water samples. Let me say location there. Okay. Now, let's also add a legend. I like to put my legends right at the top because it is very easy to see for all viewers. This is very important. It's very important to add a legend because it's going to explain what these different colors are, right? If we don't have this legend, we don't really know what these different colors are representing. And they're representing the different lakes. Alright. So, something that you probably were taught in early schooling is to always add a title on bar charts. Well, here's the secret. You don't need one. I hate chart titles when it comes, especially bar charts, because they take up space. We're going to delete it. Get rid of it. You do not need a chart title. This makes more space for our actual data we're trying to show. So I'm going to go over to the Home tab, and what I'm doing is I'm making the font bigger. I'm making the font bigger because right now it's very small, right? So let's make this bigger. Let's make this 16. I'm going to do the same for all of my Axis titles. Make this bigger so people can read your graph. And do the same here. Make it bigger. Awesome. You can also, if you click on your numbers over here, you can also make those bigger. It's just very nice to see. You can also change the font here. Usually I do Times New Roman. You can pick whatever font you want as long as it is easy to read. And you can also change the colors of your bars. So you can go over here to color, and you can click a different color if you would like a different one. So let's see. Kawaguchi, I like that. I want it to be that color orange. And let's say I want this to be a lighter color blue, and it will do that for you. It's very nice. Please avoid neon colors, like bright colors. It can hurt the eyes. It's also just not very good for visualization. All right. And I also usually like to get rid of grid lines. Some people keep their grid lines, but I think removing the grid lines gives it a cleaner look. So I just go over here to no line. So major grid line options, no line. See, it looks a lot neater. Something I also like to do is I like to add a border, right? I like to add a border to kind of make things pop. So you can change the color. The color should always be black. So go ahead and click that. And now you have this very nice border around your bar chart. And the last thing that you guys are going to want to do is add your standard error bars. For that, you're going to go back, so you're going to double click your bar chart, and you're going to go back up here to add chart element. And you're going to go here to error bars. And you want the standard error bars. Standard error. So go ahead and click that. And here is your graph. I hope that this was helpful, and I know that this was short, but this is most of the information you'll need to know.